the act when defending.
I think like.
It's never a dull day where Arsenal's concerned, certainly where this transfer window has been concerned, people. Obviously, we've just entered July and every day somebody is signing for Arsenal, whether that's the first team or the women's side. Somebody is getting a new contract. It's a madness. People, deluded as usual, have to have manners. I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope you're doing well and safe. If you're always here, appreciative to your consistent support. If you're new here, make sure you've subscribed, turn on your notification bells, smash the like button, and also let me know your opinions on everything we discuss. Now, as you can see in front of me, in fact, better yet, before I actually go over that, Xhaka has been pictured in Cologne to undergo a medical ahead of his move to Bayern Leverkusen. This is probably one of the worst kept secrets towards the back end of last season. The rumblings and the rumors that Xhaka would be departing for Paris knew were there. He got a decent send-off, obviously, at the Emirates on his last game of the season with all the banners and whatnot. It's come out, early reports in the last few months of the season said there was actually talks over a new deal. It's come out that there's been no offer on the table. He's contracted until 2024 with another year, people. And I think we are going to miss him. We're going to miss him because definitely the last couple of times, whether he's going to Hertha Berlin after the Crystal Palace stuff or going to Roma, we was going to get less money than the 21.5 million quid that allegedly is now the fee. Obviously, definitely to how he was going to leave to now he's leaving on a higher note off the back of a decent season personally and collectively. I'm going to be sad to see Xhaka go. I'm not going to lie. Naturally, I wanted him to stay, and I think that was a position we needed to upgrade. We need to get someone better or someone that can help us tie along a bit more to what we're trying to do and let Xhaka be in the squad. And that's why I'm happy with Declan Rice, because Xhaka is a leader. Respectfully to Odegaard, I know he's a leader and all of these things, and he is our captain. Xhaka is more I don't think that it's the right word, but the more organic captain, the more, typical captain. We've seen it in the All or Nothing. We've seen how he plays. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Xhaka is a man that if you get in trouble in a nightclub, he's going to be there to defend you. If he's one of your friends, he's someone you'll go to war with. And I think we're going to miss his leadership qualities. We are going to miss his experience. That's not, for me, trying to over leverage his importance. This is probably something that needs to happen. For Xhaka, you go back to, Germany, where you previously lived. I'm sure your family will like that. Obviously, there's talk of a 4-year deal. You've got 2 years, assuming the year you stay at Arsenal, better yet, and the activation clause to tie you to 2025 is invoked. At 30 years of age, to get a 4-year deal to move to a country you're comfortable in and with your family, that's job security at the end of the day, really. And it's, probably Xhaka's being given the green light to confirm this move as we get closer to obviously bringing in Declan Rice to go with Kai Havertz. And I think we're all keen to see, assuming Partey stays, but what Mikel Arteta is going to do with Kai Havertz, with Odegaard, with Smith Rowe, with Partey, and anyone else that I haven't mentioned or at the club. He's been pictured in Germany, probably putting the final touches towards his move. Allegedly, he's already even said his goodbyes. Once again, the Athletic said on the 3rd of July, 3 days ago, that Bayern Leverkusen are close to signing him for a projected 25 million euros, in brackets 21.5 million pounds, people. So yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see really that when this was first talked about, we was going to get 15 million euros. So we've got an extra 10, and really we should get that regardless of his age. He's had a good season, and we need to get better at selling players, really. So yeah, as you lot can see, Romano's also said Granit Xhaka to Leverkusen. Here we go. Agreement reached in May, now being signed between clubs. Green light arrived after Rice deal done. Arsenal will receive 25 million euros for Xhaka. He will sign a 5-year deal, better yet, until 2028. So a 4 to 5 year deal at 30 years of age. That's job security. That's, you don't need to worry about things per se. So best of luck. And obviously that probably tells us that Declan Rice's deal is all but done. We know he's still, in the process of formalizing personal terms, not that will be an issue. And obviously his medical allegedly is scheduled for Friday. So hopefully there's a lot of news to come out, Saliba, new deals, this player leaving, that player coming in. It's a madness where Arsenal's concerned. And then with outgoings, we need to offset things. If Declan Rice is going to come in for 200 grand a week or odd, Kai Havertz, something similar. Obviously, the Sakas, the Martinellis, the Reece Nelsons, Eddie Nketiah last year, Ramsdale, Benjamin White, there's wage increases. So our wage expenditure is going up, people. So we do need to get more. We need to get wages off the books. And obviously, because of the spending we're doing, we need to probably recoup something so that obviously the bank balance looks a bit better, and maybe that can help us go on for some other players. So let me know your thoughts on Granit Xhaka. Love him or hate him, he wears his heart on his sleeve. Sports Witness has said Arsenal players travelled for medical ahead of exit, pictured abroad, 4-year deal waiting for him. After the belief a deal was getting closer, it seems Xhaka is undergoing the final steps of his transfer from Arsenal to Bayer Leverkusen. That comes from Sportsblind in Germany, who have an article claiming they have spotted the Switzerland international in Cologne on Thursday, where the player is seemingly completing parts of his medical at the Media Park Clinic. As you know, he's been linked with a move away for a long time now. With Declan Rice coming in, it looks like there's a bit of a like-for-like change there. And he can leave with his head held high, people. 23 goals, 29 assists in 297 appearances for the football club. You know, you could obviously say, you know, you could be a bit unfair and say what I'm about to say is what led to Arsenal's demise. But love him or loathe him, there has got to be a reason Jose Mourinho wanted him at Roma. But Xabi Alonso, who's going to be a good manager, wants him at Leverkusen. Mikel Arteta, Unai Emery and Arsene Wenger have all utilised him as a key part of the squad. Granted, under Arteta, there's probably been, you know, the best period of Granit Xhaka at Arsenal, because you can't really see his shortcomings. And obviously the mood around him and the whole club is a lot better, really and truly. Maybe he was misused. I remember Arsene Wenger kind of used him in a more withdrawn role, you know, not a defensive mid, but kind of had to do a bit more of that, what he couldn't do. But he also described him as a box-to-box midfielder, which you're obviously seeing Arteta kind of utilising him with. You know, I'm sure he's got 2 FA Cups. I'm sure he was there when we... I have a feeling you was there when we won it in the yellow kit. You definitely were here under Mikel Arteta. So yeah, man, you can leave with your head held high. Unfortunately, you know, you came into this club when we stopped getting in the Champions League. I'm sure your first season was our last year in the Champs. I could be wrong. But there's a correlation between him coming into the club, us not being in the Champions League. Obviously, we're back in it now, and it seems like he's keeping it moving. So big up Granit Xhaka on that. Let me know your thoughts. There's several reports linking Balogun to Chelsea. Let me know your thoughts. Now, for Balogun, that would be, you know, Chelsea is an ambitious club, a big club, you know, a team that's won major honours, keyword major honours more recently than us. You know, obviously Pochettino's a great manager for some young players. You know, he helped Dele Alli. You'd stay in London, you'd be playing in the Premier League, and it looks like they need a striker. I don't know if they're going to, you know, in line with their rebuild, as good as Balogun is, an American international now, you know, he's only got 20-odd league goals once. There's no assurance that, as much as I believe he can keep doing it, that he's going to do that next year. Who knows? You might be, you know, seen as a potential profit earner for Chelsea. You might end up getting loaned out and things like that. Apparently, his reps have spoken to Chelsea about a possible move to Stamford Bridge. The Arsenal striker is in search of game time, so he's likely to move on from North London. We are told that his reps have touched base with the Blues over a possible move to Stamford Bridge. As you know, he had a breakout year where he got 21 goals in Liga. And he's been listed with a number of clubs in the last 24 hours, in particular, Leipzig, AC and Inter, Juventus. Pardon me, apparently Brighton are interested, Crystal Palace are interested, West Ham are interested. The many clubs are interested in Balogun, and I'm sure he's on a shortlist. Being interested and having an interest is very different from placing bids and getting on the phone to Edu and his team about a move, people. If he does go to Chelsea, you need to be getting 50-odd million. Chelsea got money. They're a Premier League club. They're not going to do us any favours, even though we've taken Kai Havertz off them and Jorginho and Luiz. And, you know, there's been better relationships between the two clubs. In fact, all of the Premier League clubs seem to be dealing with each other a lot more. I'm not too sure, really. But you'd imagine there's a spot for you at Chelsea, whether you're the guy they rely on, whether you're the striker that can propel them towards getting back to fighting for the Prem and the champs and whatnot. I'm not too sure, people. I don't really buy this for what it's worth, but we'll have to see exactly what's being done on Balogun. Let me know your thoughts, people. And claw back some of that Kai Havertz money. You know, obviously Nkunku can play all about the place, but Christopher Nkunku's obviously been brought into the club. You'd imagine Chelsea buy another striker. Probably Lukaku's future lies away from Chelsea, but he's still on their books. Broya's had an injury. He's still on their books. And obviously they've got a new manager and a big squad, and they'll only be really competing in one competition a week, really. Obviously they'll be in the FA Cup and the League Cup to go with the Prem. So in theory, they could be less game time, but we'll have to see exactly what's being said, people. I'm sure he's got a big decision to make. As you can see here, people, kind of what I was saying, he's been linked with 5 other clubs as well: AC, Inter Milan, Marseille, Monaco, Leipzig, to name a few. Once again, he's been, you know, allegedly told to find a new club. Apparently, we value him from 35 to 50 million, depending on what outlet you read. If you look at Caicedo, apparently Brighton slapped price tag of more than 100 million for Caicedo after Declan Rice's big money move is set as a benchmark. And I mean, Caicedo's advisors probably didn't do him He got more wages, but probably shouldn't have signed that new deal in January. And Brighton are difficult to do business with on the best of days, much less for 100 odd million. I'm sure some Arsenal fans are keeping a close eye in the hope that we could probably get Caicedo. Can't see us spending 100 million on Caicedo. Not really saying if he's better than Rice. I don't really care for that, but I can understand why Arsenal might be more tempted to spend 105 million on Declan Rice. He's made over 200 appearances for West Ham. He's been a linchpin in the Premier League. He's played over 100 times for them, mate. Well, over 100 times plus in the Premier League. Caicedo's only played 40 odd times. For all his quality and as much as I think he'd improve our starting 11 and that for Brighton, really. And as you look, know, potential is the new buzzword. When you've seen what Rice has gone for, you've seen what Bellingham's gone for, you've seen what other players away from them have gone for, Brighton are within their rights, really. I really rate the way Brighton go about business, really. We had to give them 50 million for Declan Rice off the back of one Premier League season, people. So we have to see that. Completely off topic. But again, I have to obviously stay in tune with everything. My phone has just alerted me to something in relation to Fabrizio Romano. It appears, people, that Declan Rice is not the only one scheduled for a medical on Friday, because as you can see here, we've probably seen it already. He has said, I understand Arsenal booked medical for Timber on Friday. He'll sign the contract until 2028 right after. Told Timber will travel to London later today, then will undergo medical tests on Friday morning. You'd imagine, killing two birds with one stone. Declan Rice is probably going to get his stuff sorted in that regards. And maybe Friday, tomorrow will be a bonanza for Arsenal in that we'll finally get proper confirmation on official channels that William Saliba, Reece Nelson have signed new deals. Declan Rice, obviously, along with Timber arriving at the club and Granit Xhaka departing. Don't forget to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts on everything in that regards, people. This is for another video, so let's leave that. Nuno Tavares has consistently been linked with a move away, and he's been linked with West Ham, people. Apparently, the Gunners will demand 25 million euros for him. So I no clue on the exchange rate, but what's that, around 20 million quid? We spent 8 million on him. Probably owe his club Benfica a sell-on clause. If he does go to West Ham, business is business, and you can't hold emotions, especially if you want to move on a player that evidently at this moment in time doesn't appear part of the future. You've got Tierney, who might not even be here, Zinchenko, and obviously Tomiyasu, and indirectly Kirill, based off the back of last season, that could all be utilized as options ahead of Nuno Tavares. But if he is to go to West Ham, you didn't make it easy for us with Declan Rice. Don't make it easy for them, regardless of what's going on in that regards. So he's been linked to a few clubs. He's also been once again linked with West Ham, people, and also Galatasaray. I don't think Marseille will keep him permanently, so we'll have to watch that one there, people. Once again, Arsenal to announce a 4-year contract extension for Nelson. Apparently, there'll be an option of a further season in that regards. Declan Rice has been given the Fabrizio Romano, here we go, a deal's in place between Arsenal and West Ham. Obviously, it's 100 million plus 5 million add-ons. He'll become not only Arsenal's most expensive signing, but the most expensive British player ever. So we have to look at that. As we've been discussing, Xhaka is moving in on his move to Bayern Leverkusen. We're once again closing in on Rice and Timber. So yeah, there doesn't appear that there's anything new, people, but we do need to get players gone. We've got 6 million from Marie going. We're going to get 20 odd from Granit Xhaka. If you can get the Tavareses, the Pepes, the Lokongas off the wage bill, and many other players that haven't stated, it starts to make our resources, whether that be wages or the transfer kitty, look a bit better. And it's just about trimming the squad. Obviously, Runarsson and Cedric and Holding, people that you forget are at the football club. So yeah, let me know your feelings on Granit Xhaka's departure. Is it the best or right thing to do for Arsenal, or wrong thing, better yet? Let me know your thoughts on actually our summer business. If we get Timber, Kai Havertz and Rice, is that enough? How do you feel about potentially getting 25 million euros for Tavares and anything else Arsenal related? One love for listening, people. Smash the like button, comment, subscribe. Have a great day. I hope you and your loved ones stay in great health. I'm out.
There's always just that active red light defending. I think like